I'm going to do one of those entertainment guy videos while I'm on the hockey guy set. So, today I ordered a lapel mic. We're going to see how that works. I did not order a top of the line lapel mic because I want to see how things work. And it's got a really good rating on Amazon, so if it works, then this bad boy here could very well get retired. I have my doubts. I really honestly love this microphone. But I can see how a lapel microphone might help, so I'll give it a shot. Um, but it brings to bear something that's been on my mind since I watched John Oliver last Sunday, which is the way that Amazon treats their workers, which isn't well. Now, it doesn't surprise me when they were talking about work in a warehouse and how it's not safe, and there's a high death rate in warehouses, and crap gets broken and things happen. I'm thinking, yep. Um, some of my best memories from my most recent full time job, which was working in a warehouse the last 2 years I was there, was when you would look up and you'd look up on the top shelf and you would see like a whole stack of totes ready to go, and you'd be like, "That's gonna fall over." And it was usually because somebody was on the forklift that either was brand new or just sloppy. And so it doesn't surprise me that working in a warehouse is dangerous. Now you add in what John Oliver, which was talking about, which is the robots that are automated, and every now and then they almost kill workers. We're on our way to the Terminators. It's just so gradual that we're not going to realize they've taken over. But there's an ease to shopping from home. There's an ease to finding exactly what I want. I think I got tired of going to department stores and being like, okay, I'm coming in here and I'm looking for this. Part of what happens when you're in a department store too is that, and this happens with grocery stores. If I want to now go out, be like, all right, we know what we're getting, and we've got a list of 3 items, and then we come out with a cart. Come out with a cart full of crap we did not intend to buy, and we're like, why was that $100? We went in there for $10 in things. And now it's $100 because it turns into, well, we'll get this, we'll get this. It's like every now and then they'll just say, Shannon, do you need a bag of chips? And my answer to that is define need. Because no, I don't need a bag of chips. I need my treadmill, which I paid for about a week and a half ago through Amazon. And I really hope it's not on a top shelf somewhere because it weighs over 100 pounds. So I'm going to feel like a very bad person if it arrives and there's red stains all over it from the blood of the person that got it for me. Um, I wasn't, and again, I'm going to relate this to my experience. I wasn't surprised to hear that Amazon basically does it this way. So you order your item. They're on a time sensitive operation. So the order comes into the warehouse. Warehouse, the order's generated and it goes to whoever's next in the line to pick. Get this. And it might be stuff in this aisle and stuff at the other end of the building, which is 4 or 5 football fields away. And if you don't meet your quota, well, you're out of a job. I remember, again, at my most recent full time job, I'm not going to qualify TradeX because TradeX is just it's a place where you have like your meetings and you have like your big um, shows. It's trade shows, so it's not the same thing at all. But there was at one point an idea brought up about, hey, we're going to start tracking how much everybody picks every day. And I went, hey, why? And it was, well, we just we want to track the data. To which I answered, why? And it wasn't, I never had any doubt that I was doing my job well. None. But what bothers me was this. So let's say I go in and I'm having a bad day. So my numbers after 2 hours are low. Maybe my boss comes up to me. So you're not doing very well today. What's going on? I don't feel very well. Well, maybe you should just go home then. The idea being that I'm dragging them down. They're not getting their money's worth out of me, and they could just send me home. And then, of course, there was the ultimate concern I had, which was that we would start rewarding people for picking the most. And here's why that's a problem. Because having worked in a warehouse, I can tell you, I'd be going through and picking away. And I might take a tote of, let's just say, top sirloin steaks. And I look at it and I go, well, these aren't right. There's air in them. These haven't been tested properly, or these may be tested. There may have been a hole in the packaging, and now there's air in them. We can't send these out. So now I take them back out to the production floor. Well, now that's going to take away from my numbers. Somebody else might come over and go, good enough. Their numbers are going to be great. So with Amazon, what's kind of entered my mind now is there's been a couple of times where I get a package and maybe the package is broken, or maybe I'm like, this isn't exactly what I want. That's not right. And maybe that's what it is. It's somebody trying to meet their quotas. So I think, and I won on that. I did. What I did was I made it so that there was one instance where there was somebody who was not doing their job, and we proved it. And we did it in a way that didn't involve numbers, just involved time. And we proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that this person was cheating the company out of time. And time theft is a thing where I might go out for a break at it's 8:30. I'm supposed to be back at 8:45. Nobody will notice if I'm back at 8:55. All right, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm ready to go out for my lunch. That's half an hour, so 11:45. And there were people that had done this for a long time. But that was where my concern was that there were many days where I didn't even take breaks, which if the union had ever found out, I would have been in trouble. Not that I cared. But I definitely worked my fingers to the bone and I did everything I could to make sure that I got out of there in time. And it was frustrating when I'd be killing myself to get these orders on the truck and get them out. And then I'd be back and I'd look at the clock and go, wow, it's a nice 25-minute break you took for yourself there. Don't hurt yourself getting your paperwork or anything. Don't worry. I worked through my break. So now back to Amazon. I'm sure that kind of stuff's going on there too. And rumor has it that if you have to relieve yourself, you might be better off just doing it while you're walking around the floor, because if you go to the washroom, well, that can eat into your pay as well, and you can end up getting fired for going to the washroom. Because they just go, you pick this amount in this amount of time, it's not good enough, you're out of here. And they do it knowing that there's a lot of people that are ready to come in the door and work. And my old workplace kind of had that attitude as well. That, well, we can just go find more people. My answer to that was always, you can, but how long are they going to last? You know, I had been there for years, and I was like, I've been here for years. How long are those people going to last that we bring in? So you get rid of that guy over there, because he's slacking a bit. And every now and then, you know, I would see somebody that I was friends with that I felt was kind of slacking, and I'd approach him, and I'd go, hey, I noticed you had a nice long lunch break there. What's going on? I just figured, and I was like, you might want to cut that out, because I'm not the only one that noticed. If I noticed, other people did too. So I understand warehouse work. I get it. With warehouse work, the warehouse that I worked in, there's sort of an honor system to it. You know, you write your times down, and your times should be accurate. And there were times where I got the feeling that my time card at the end of 2 weeks wasn't exactly what I handed in. I'd look at my paycheck and go, that doesn't seem right. And, you know, I had one friend who would always point out that I didn't make any more money than he did, even though I worked overtime and worked through my breaks, which made me feel so much better about it. But back to Amazon. So knowing that these people may be in worse conditions, that in a couple of different warehouses in the States, it's been reported they work without any kind of air conditioning, and it gets up to 130 degrees on the floor, I do find myself being torn. Because I like the convenience. Amazon sells the convenience. They sell the idea that you don't have to leave your door. I don't have to go into a Best Buy and deal with people. How you doing? What's going on? How you doing? Especially if you walk into a store where they're on commission and they're all following you around like trolls. Do you need anything? How about now? It's okay. I know you work on commission. Go on over there and recharge yourself. Get some more caffeine. go. So there is definitely some convenience to that, and then they bring it to my door. Again, I don't have to leave. I don't have to go down to a store and say I'm here to pick up my order. It just comes to the door. Every now and then I have to pay for it. Usually I don't. Usually it's just there. I may come home and go, hey, it's Christmas. There's packages right at the door for me. And I save money. I find that not going to the brick and mortar stores, I save money because I don't do the impulse buys so much. And I know, people point out my jersey collection and the size of it, but shipping and buying online, I save way more over what I would pay in stores. I look at what I used to pay in stores for hockey shirts when I was getting maybe one a month, if that, and it's ridiculous because I was paying full price, which lowest price was $130, and the highest price was around 200 when all was said and done. Maybe it was a sale at Sport Check, where I'd go in and I'd go, all right, well, I have to meet a certain amount of money before I can get money off. The only good thing was at that point, Sport Check had they had a partnership with Scene. So your Scene card, you use it to get Cineplex points so you can go see a movie for free. That's fun. It's fun to go, hey, I just paid $200, but I got a $5 movie ticket for free, so it all balances out. And as long as I can't figure out math in my brain, we're good. But I guess the question I have is the moral conundrum of ordering from Amazon. While it's there, to me, we're just seeing how warehouses function. Because what they were trying to do at my old place, which was track your pick numbers, and if your pick numbers are low, they'll talk to you, and if your pick numbers are high, you win an award. Which again, it rewards the person who does it fastest, not the person who does it the best. And I kept saying too, we can't be rewarding the person who does it the fastest, because we'll get that order done really fast, and you're going to get a lot of complaints from the store about the state of the products we're sending them, because we're not going to care. We're not going to care. There was some of that already, which was I forget it. I don't care anymore. And so that would have got worse. And that came from another warehouse, which isn't too far from where I live now. There's another warehouse that a lot of people go to once they've worked at that warehouse, because it's the same kind of thing. It's forklifts and picking orders, and that's what they do. They track how much you pick, and if you pick below a certain amount, you're fired. And it's a high number. They told me what the number was, and we tried to track it at ours, and we're like, I don't know. It would be hard to do that for 8 hours. 2 hours, sure. 4 hours, maybe, but for a full 8, the numbers seemed kind of high for me. And then the problem, too, was that apparently they had headsets, and you'd have bosses telling you what to do through the headsets, but they'd be talking over each other. No. I had a hard enough time with radios as it was. Being a first aid attendant at my old job, there were days where I would yell out, just shut up. People turn and go, what, Shannon, what's going on? I'd be like, it's just the radio won't shut up today. So what would happen is everybody would be talking about everything. So be having a full conversation on the radio. Well, as a first aid attendant, I'm listening for first aid. Do you copy? Well, if you're talk, and then somebody says it in between, I probably miss it. And then all of a sudden here, first aid, do you have... And I'm like, oh, crap. Go ahead. Thanks for finally answering. And I'm like, holy crap. All right, fine. Because that chatter, eventually, if you're doing your job and you've got a radio chattering on your hip, and it's constant chatter, you're just going to have to tune it out. Because you can't focus on the radio and focus on your job at the same time. So I cannot imagine a job where it'd be my boss chattering through a headset that I'm wearing. And then I probably would have been a first aid attendant as well. I would have had a drinking problem. I don't need a drinking problem. Contrary to popular belief, I don't drink. It's not my thing. All right, so let me know what you guys think, especially for those watching this video who have worked in a situation where they're at a warehouse and this kind of things come up. What's being said about Amazon is not really, to me, anything new. It might be a little more extreme and turned up a little bit beyond the norm. But companies have treated workers like this for decades and centuries. Um, I'd be interested to know what your thoughts are. Does it change your opinion of Amazon? Does it change your likelihood to shop with them? Do you use something else online? And here's the problem. If you use somebody else online, how do you know they don't have a warehouse too where they're acting like that? Other than eBay sellers for the most part are pretty good people, and it's usually, people buying. You're not necessarily buying from giant warehouses. Sometimes you are. There are a couple that I get the feeling are pretty decent sized warehouses, but in general, you're usually dealing with one person who's just selling their stuff. Um, so yeah, what are your opinions about shopping online, and does it make any difference to you how workers are treated, or do you kind of look at that and go, they're treated badly everywhere? I'm glad you guys are catching up. It's just funny how the media seems to care when all of a sudden it becomes publicly known. What anybody who's worked in a warehouse has known for years. Especially at the start where they're like, hey, it's really dangerous and there's a lot of accidents, there's a lot of deaths. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, I know. I know. When you're walking between aisles and the guy who's on the forklift goes, "Oh, just walk under the forks, you're fine." And I have to turn and go, "No, we're not allowed to walk under the forks. How about no? The hydraulics give. I'm even shorter." Like, or I would see people climbing up climbing up on the scaffolding and the shelving, and I'd yell out, I'm a first aid attendant and I could just shut all of this down, right? You guys are just making me feel like I'm horrible at this. They'd be like, don't worry about it, Shannon, just catch this when it drops. I'm not catching it, I'm walking away. So I hate to admit that. I can now because it's not my job anymore, but I hated it. It was one of those things that just it drove, and guys would do it just to drive me nuts because it was the first aid attendant. All right, there you go. Let me know your thoughts. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. It's fun to watch this channel grow as well. I know this channel doesn't have the vast numbers of the Hockey Guy channel, and it does not provide any financial wonderment that the Hockey Guy channel does, but it sure is fun to relax, sit here, and shoot the breeze and do a video for you guys. Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you again soon.